Unlike plenty other European capitals, Bucharest does not boast of a millenniums-long history. The first historical reference to the city under the name of Bucharest dates back to the Middle Ages in 1459. The story goes, however, that Bucharest was founded several centuries earlier by a controversial and rather legendary character named Bucur, from where the name of the city is said to derive. What is certain is that the area on which nowadays Bucharest stretches has been inhabited since ancient times. As said, the city was first mentioned in 1459 in a document issued by the court of Prince Vlad the Impaler, the prince who allegedly inspired the creation of the world-renowned character of Dracula. It was in those times that Bucharest started to grow as an important economic and political center of Wallachia. Jewish communities on what would later become Romanian territory were attested as early as the 2nd century AD, at a time when the Roman Empire had established its rule over Dacia. They may have been present in some Moldovan fairs by the 16th century or earlier. The earliest Jewish, most likely Sephardi, presence in Wallachia, they were first attested in the 1550s, living in Bucharest. During the Middle Ages, times of persecution altered with times of peace, but during modern times, Jews were not recognized as citizens in the first constitution, and they were often persecuted. Elias Hospital is a known institution in Bucharest. Unfortunately, not many people know who made all that possible: the banker and landlord Jacques M Elias, the philanthropist which left, through testament, his entire wealth to the Romanian Academy. The donation was made having as purpose the promotion of culture in Romania, easing the illness of our poor people and supporting noble causes. He was born in a Jewish family in Bucharest in 1844. He was one of the most important businessmen in Romania at the beginning of 20th century. Owner of a sugar factory in Sascut, president of the Romanian General Bank, one of the most important landlords of the time, owner of a mercury mines in Dalmatia, owner of the Patria Hotel and Continental Hotel from Bucharest, owner of shares accounting for many millions of lei issued by the stock exchanges in New York, Brussels, London, Prague, Vienna, and Berlin. At the same time, he has been one of the advisors of King Carol I, which granted him the title of a Knight and Officer of the Romanian Star Order and the title of Officer and Commander of the Romanian Crown Order. Jacques M Elias was never married, allowing himself few joys in life. Up to the old age deep, as he died at the age of 79 years, he had always considered himself as a servant of his own fortune, a sort of administrator. And when it was almost to die, he believed that it was fair for his main clerk, Mr. Steger, a Swiss, to take his place at the chair of the office, or even to live with the family in the apartment on the first floor from the street Corabia II, today Clemenceau, the house in which lived and died Elias, and where there is today, at the ground floor, the administration of the Menachem H. Elias Foundation. However, D. Steger remained the same modest guardian of the fortune as had been the former owner as well. Through the will from 1914, there is a monthly pay of 600 lei for D. Steger, and for the members of the administration board, chosen by him, it is fixed, through testament, monthly pay of 1,500 lei. As all great philanthropists, he didn't forget the poor, nor the humanitarian aid societies. He also left sums of money for the Faculty of Medicine, for the Foundation Carol I, and for many other Jewish and Romanian schools. He also set up scholarships for hard-working students and so on. He even left small sums of money to his servants. Elias had a great fear of being buried alive. When he felt that he would die, he had requested that his body be kept in 72 hours so there wouldn't be any hasty burials. Although he left all his fortune in Romania, the Romanian Academy being the rightful claimant, he requested that his body was to be transferred in Vienna and buried after the Mosaic custom with a very simple ceremony next to his brother Abraham and sister-in-law Paulina in the Israeli-Spanish cemetery in the capital of Austria.
He asked the Academy to use the money to set up a foundation bearing his father's name, Jacques M Elias, which was supposed to open a hospital, and the hospital was eventually opened, the Elias Hospital in Bucharest. Also to run the Continental Hotel, which is also a legacy of the Elias family, and which is now owned by the Romanian Academy. And he also left money to his less fortunate relatives. He left money to some of his cousins and nieces and nephews who were less lucky and had less money. He also left money to Romanian, and that is Christian, orphanages and medical facilities and so on, and even old people's homes, in the idea that everybody should benefit from his fortune, not just the Jewish community, to which he did leave also some of his fortune for the well-being and the continuation of some of its institutions, medical institutions, cultural institutions, and so on.
Although this testament's terms and conditions were very clear, the recovery of the fortune and the creation of the new foundation was done with a lot of difficulty. This primarily happened because up to 67 persons, which claimed to be poor relatives up to the 8th grade of late Elias, have contested the testament. Obtaining the wealth from a board was also difficult. However, the administration board of the foundation created by the Romanian Academy, which included among others Dr. Grigore Antipa, Principe Barbuș Tibei, Liberal Ministers Emanuel Porumbaru, former Ministers of Foreign Affairs of Romania Victor Antonescu and Emanuel Panataji, they have managed to recover until the 31st December 1928 a fortune which amounts to 362 million lei. It could therefore be possible working on the wishes of Jacques M Elias.
His important contribution is still remembered today through the monography of the Continental Hotel, where you find interesting information about the family's contribution. And interestingly enough, despite the many years, almost 100 years since he died, he is still an important name in history, and he is still remembered in various instances, on various occasions, for this generosity, for this contribution to the city, to the Bucharest well-being and the history.